friends. I hope you guys are all doing good during our time of quarantine. I got bored and was thinking of you guys, and I made my own story, and it involves all 17 of my friends from Towanda Head Start. So I'd like to share it and read it with you. It's called The Towanda Head Start Family Goes on a Nature Walk. Written by Miss Laura Jill. Hopefully you guys can see the pictures okay. One spring day, Miss Chatney and Miss Laura Jill took their 17 friends and went for a scavenger hunt to see what wildlife they could see. As they started their walk, Shayla pointed to the sky and said, "Look, a robin. They lay blue eggs." The class stopped for a moment to admire the robin perched on a tree, but then everyone heard a scream. Mackenzie got frightened by a spider. This spider had long legs and a small body. "That's a daddy long leg," exclaimed Miss Laura Jill. "They won't hurt you." Miss Laura Jill gave Mackenzie a hug, letting her know that she was safe. The class kept walking along, their eyes looking all around for a new creature to spot. Miss Chatney, I see something," cried Brantley. "It's a butterfly flying this way." As all the friends watched safely in awe, Miss Chatney told her friends it was a monarch butterfly. "They are very kind. It should only be looked at and not touched." The butterfly flew over to Nevaeh and landed on her nose. She gave a little giggle as it flew towards the sky. The class walked beside a little pond. In the distance, they could hear a deep burping noise. "Does anyone know who makes that noise?" asked Miss Laura Jill. Asher kindly raised his hand and answered excitedly, "Bullfrog! It's a bullfrog! They like to jump in the water when you get close to them, making it hard to catch them. You need to use a net." Miss Laura Jill smiled and agreed with his vivid response. Off in the distance, they could hear the honking sound. It kept getting closer and closer until finally 2 geese landed in the water. Kenny and Eli were laughing at how the geese would dive into the water, leaving their tail feathers in the air. A few moments later, Kira saw 2 ducks. One was green and the other was brown. "Mrs. Chatney, what kind of ducks are they?" Miss Chatney studied the ducks and realized, "Those are mallard ducks. The male duck is the one with the green head and the brown one is the female." The class watched them a few minutes, and as they began to walk away, Isaac and Isaiah said goodbye to the mallard ducks and geese. As the class kept hiking along the path, Ryland and Aiden were flipping over rocks. "What are you looking for, boys?" asked Miss Chatney. "Worms and salamanders," replied the boys. Miss Laura Jill walked over to the boys and said, "Kiss your brain, boys. Salamanders and worms do like to live under rocks and branches on the ground. But what they love the most is moisture." Miss Laura Jill led them over to some wet logs and leaves, and sure enough, when they lifted the log, there were worms, salamanders, and bugs crawling all over the place. "Gross!" shouted Chloe. Soon we entered a little patch of woods. In the distance, you could hear something knocking on a tree. All the children got really quiet so they could try to see what was making that sound. "It's up there!" shouted Rutledge. "The bird is hitting his head off the tree." Miss Chatney giggles and explains that it was a bird called a woodpecker. She continued to tell them that they use their strong beaks like a hammer to poke holes in the trees to get bugs out to eat and to also make nests inside. Nathan found a turtle slowly grazing beside the path. Being respectful, he did not touch it, but instead told Miss Laura Jill what he had seen, and together they investigated. This is a painted turtle. He has different colors on his legs and head. Riker stepped forward and said, I've seen a snapping turtle before. They are not nice. Miss Laura Jill replied, snapping turtles have a pointy nose and a long tail. That's one way to know that you should stay away from them. But to be safe, always get a grown-up if you see any turtles or snakes. As they neared the end of the wooded area, Thomas pointed to a rabbit hopping in the grass. Not too far off in the distance, they can see 3 deer enjoying clovers in the meadow. They also saw many butterflies and bees buzzing from flower to flower. Their walk was sadly coming to an end, and just as they were walking into the classroom, Miss Chatney came to a sudden stop and whispered, Look up in the branch of the tree. It's the robin we saw earlier, now sitting on her nest. Spring is finally here. I hope you enjoyed my book, friends. I'll be mailing out a copy to all of you so you can read it at home with your families. Talk to you soon.